Hello and welcome to Legends League 2020 Season 1. My name is Irish and I am present with Life of Aori and Hunterman. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for asking. Really excited to cast this game tonight.
And I'm excited to be your co-host here, Irish.
Sick. Alright, so we have a match today between Team Papa Koble and Team Kubes. Team Kubes is currently 0-1, and Team Papa Koble, I believe, is 2-1. Is that right? I believe that's the record. So,
Should be an interesting matchup.
yeah, we got a story of redemption and someone else trying to maintain their position in the standings. So I know that their protected pick, according to the league rules, for Team Cubes is Olaf, and for Team Papa Cobble, it's the Orn for Chaser. So, any surprises from the bands here?
Hey, never pick a fight you can't win.
Well,
Not surprised
to see the Fiddlesticks ban, as Zarn, obviously one of his major main champions that he plays there.
I'm surprised to not see the Seraphine ban, but that makes sense. They're gonna pick it for themselves.
Well, that's
I like
actually a big turn of events. I didn't know their team played that. I know Angelic has been essentially one-tricking that champ.
Yep.
The little bonk ban wasn't a surprise for me. That's definitely targeted at bad breaks, something he's made for a long time. We also have the Karma ban.
You have to wonder here with Angelic's champ pool kind of dwindling here. Do they take a pick to get him something he prefer to play?
Well, I think Angelic has a really deep champ pool though. So even though there's going to be some bans thrown at him, he can pilot a lot of different champions. It's just kind of funneling him into the support you want him to play. So he plays a really mean Janna. Maybe that's something that could come out this game. We'll have to see what these next two picks are. So we are seeing a pretty big change from Papa Cobble actually. He's played MF, I believe, in his last 3 games, and he's electing to take Caitlyn now. So that's kind of a change of pace for the team.
Yeah, I believe from the last cast that I was a spectator in, he talked a little bit about his Caitlyn play and expressed interest in picking it maybe in his next match. So we'll see if that's a desirable outcome for this matchup.
So they protected the Olaf, but they're picking the Kayn. It's interesting. Maybe just trying to mislead him, I guess. Oh wait, sorry. Chaser took Olaf. Yeah.
Picked.
Apologies on that.
Interesting.
So blue team protected the Olaf, but red team took it, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
Love that.
So the Ornn is still up. I'm assuming Zarn Olaf's, but I feel like I haven't seen him play a lot of Olaf.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Are they flexing at top?
It's a bit surprising to see it come out of Zarn for sure. Didn't seem like a champ that Chaser would play either.
I'm wondering if he's just taking a jungle and they're just trying to use that as a strategic counter pick.
I don't agree with the Lily ban. Not sure why that came out. They already picked the jungler and Kayn, so a bit confusing there.
Wait. Is Scrubby? No, I think Scrubby's the player in the league that plays Kayn top.
Oh. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I think he actually like almost one tricks it essentially top, and I've been really interested to see how that laning phase goes because I don't know if you have ever faced that Aori top lane. I never have, and so I don't really know what the laning phase would, the trade patterns and where's the strengths for the lane.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. Pretty bad until it gets red form. Then it's quite annoying after that, but you can abuse it pretty hard before then.
Is it always red form?
For the most part, yeah. Yeah, I would say so. You're gonna go against a lot of melee top laners, and you're gonna be getting your red form very quickly off those guys.
So,
wanted to point out the Volibear ban that we saw there recently. That was Zarn's last played champion in a recent game. I'd like to see the.
It's also confusing.
Yeah.
Maybe they're expecting the Olaf top as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely confused here. I think the Olaf would probably be a good matchup into a Kayn top, but I want to see what happens to Ratfart. I know he actually kind of off-rolled into jungle for his team, so he's actually learning a new role himself. And and to be pushed off the two champs he wanted to play. It's Olaf and Lilia. That's usually what he's picking. So I wonder what his third pick is actually going to be for this game.
So Irish, what are the main roles that we should be seeing? I'm unfamiliar with the blue team, I believe it is. So what are the main roles that these players play?
I don't actually know. I just know Scrubby is their top laner. I believe Kubes is the support. So I haven't really seen their game. I'm excited to watch them. They've only played one game in the league so far. Obviously, Team Papa Koble has played 3 games, so I have a little bit more experience with their team. But that Kane's definitely jungle. The Urgot's top. I thought maybe I was wrong about Scrubby Bub's champ pool. I just could have swore there was a Kane player in the top lane in the league. So electing to not pick the Ornn, picking Maokai, so it is Zarn on the Olaf. Wow, that's kind of interesting. I think that sounds like a Zarn champion in my opinion. I've always wanted to see him play that champion, and I want to see if he'll get aggressive on it.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I do like the Stylus pick up here too. I think it'd be pretty good in the Brand. Brand recently got buffed too. It was ultimate, bounce onto him. And I think it might be even better for Silas because he wants to be in melee range. So, pretty good pickup here. I've heard that Maokai is pretty good into Urgot. I have not done well into it, so I'm excited to see if Shazor can pull it off. I like the bot lanes from both. Both pretty long range, good scaling, good damage. And the jungle matchup, I think, is where a lot of the early action come from. It's whether Zarn can press on the gas and force fights before Kane has a chance to scale up and get the form that he wants. Hunter, have you ever played against Urgot top lane as Maokai? Can you talk about that matchup at all?
As Maokai, I've played a bit of Maokai top. Urgot is not a champ that we see a lot in the top lane when you play Maokai. At least for myself, I would say our Urgot specialist, Irish White Boy, can give us a little insight into that matchup.
Yeah, definitely. I think the important thing is that Urgot is all about that E, that flip, and it's pretty short range. It's a pretty slow ability, and it can be interrupted. And so the Maokai has the Q, and even the W at his disposal, but especially the Q. As soon as the Urgot starts to do the animation and is shoving towards you, you can just Q him and interrupt it. And that alone just gives you a totally free lane, because the Urgot, that's his only true engage. He has a slow on his Q, but otherwise he just don't get near him and you're fine. And the Maokai has the tools for that. He has the slow with the saplings, again the W to reposition, go invulnerable for that brief second. I think it's a good matchup for the Maokai.
And I would say the Maokai pick in general for a top lane, there's a lot of advantages to the objective play that you're going to see in the river and in the jungle with this Maokai, with the ability to kind of zone off and control with roots, with his ult and his W. It'd be really interesting to see how the Kane plays into the top lane.
Yeah, and it looks like they wanted the Kane from the start, so the Lilia ban didn't really have an effect. So I guess if Olaf is picked away from Ratfart, he's looking to go for the Kane. And I'm excited to see him play as well. Like I said, he is kind of off-rolling. I know it's been at least a secondary position for him, but I believe he was playing a lot of top lane and bot lane before the league started. But he's also the youngest player in the league, coming in at 13 years old, I believe. So, and touted as a mechanically gifted youth, I think some have said.
That's been said in previous casts. I will say his first game was a little bit rough. Didn't perform the greatest against team obligated Marlin, but this is a chance to redeem himself and see how the rest of the season goes.
Well, it's a long season. I mean, you drop a couple games early on. It's not really going to impact your standings that heavily if you drop two
Yeah,
or
for
three
sure.
games in the beginning. They're still trying to find that synergy. I know some teams have scrimmed more than others. Some people are kind of looking to develop that synergy throughout this season, so I don't think they should be worried at all.
From what I've heard, Kubes team's the one that scrimmed the most, perhaps, right? Don't they have like something like 9 games together outside of the league?
I did not know that. Okay, that kind of changes things.
I believe that's the team that's been practicing a bunch.
So maybe
I
they're
heard Radfart's been taken under Kubes' wing, and they've been practicing a lot together, and they seem like they've been able to schedule a lot of time together as a team. So we'll see if that time together is paid off, and we'll check to see how their synergy and their team fighting goes against these 5 players who have been playing together for a very long time. Maybe for the exception of Chazor, he's a little bit new to the squad, but the other 4 players, yeah, they've played a lot of League of Legends together.
But Chaser fits the team so well. You can see that was kind of their strategy. They always put him on a self-sufficient, taking champion that can scale into the game and always have impact and relevance. But the other 4 can work the bottom side of the map around the dragons and have that organization, like you were mentioning.
Yeah, I want to see if Zarn puts any pressure top lane. I feel like it might be a good place to put it. Keeping your Maokai even or ahead really sets you up for later team fights. I think Olaf himself can get pretty strong off of a couple kills in Urgot as well, so I think that might be his best chance, especially if you can force some fights with Kane early too. I think Olaf's going to shine in those fights. So
Yeah, so
And,
go ahead.
and gentlemen, while we have a little bit of time before the game starts here, do we have any marquee matchup picks for our 2 main hosts here?
Well, it's unfortunate that Obligated isn't here. He's tried to coin that solely on his own. But I guess we'll have to just take this one ourselves. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm going to go jungle. Ratfart versus Zarn. I'm so excited to see this matchup. If you don't know Ratfart, he has a big mouth, comes from a big family. He's going to talk a lot. And I expect if he wins today, Zarn will have 20 to 30 messages on red in League of Legends. So there's a lot on the line for Zarn. He doesn't want to lose to a 13-year-old kid who's gonna talk a lot about this one win. So
a lot of mess.
A true underdog story.
But if we're looking at team comps here, I always like to get a little early prediction. Who do you think has the edge here? Who do you think is gonna win, just based off of comps alone? Maybe not who's piloting them.
I like red team's comp a little bit more. They cover a little bit more of the bases. They have really good engage, which I think blue team lacks. Blue team definitely wins in the overall damage department, but they don't really have a good way to start a fight.
Well, they have the Maokai R, right? I mean, they have the Maokai R to get in there.
I'm saying red team has much better.
Oh, red. Yes. I'm with you then. Yeah. I like the red teams as well, and I also think Olaf is good into Urgot, and maybe that's just my top lane mindset coming out there. But the Olaf's just gonna have a really tough time in this game, I think. Or the Urgot, sorry, the Urgot's gonna have a tough time. So standard starts, I don't see any.
Well, an interesting change to what I expected to see. It looks to be the Seraphine mid with a brand support.
Yeah, that actually confused me as well.
Oh, interesting. Thank you for catching that.
Yeah, good point. Catch.
And to counter what Bishank said earlier with the red team, I think the blue team actually has a really good team comp to try and maybe surprise Team Papa Koble, as we have the Brand, who's recently been buffed, and the new character with Seraphine in the mid lane. There's a lot to be seen.
Meanwhile, really bad trades taken both in the mid and top lane.
Yeah, top lane got close. That was very close.
Yeah, that was
no flash burn.
Top lane. Breaks lost a lot of his HP, although he just have 2 stacks and like Trap Defensive left. Looking pretty rough for the soul laners right now.
Yeah,
lane's about even as well. Wave's about equal. CS equal.
There's some sustain in the top lane for the Maokai.
There is. And it's like Urgot's already blew through his potion as well.
Yeah, I'm just seeing some aggressive trades here, so I'm expecting some deaths coming up here, or at least some flashes burned.
Irish, what do you think about the Conqueror on the Urgot versus the Maokai here?
It's good. I think it's either press the attack or Conquer. Conquer is going to give you an even more powerful Urgot in the late game. and the league does tend to have longer games, so I think there's some advantages there, especially against the Maokai. I actually would probably pick Conquer as well, but Press the Attack's just so fun if you ever see a bot laner.
Sure. Do you think if he had Press the Attack, you would have got a solo kill there?
Yes. Yeah, I do. It would have been really close. I think you would have got the flash.
Yeah, at the very least.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
no.
it's all about the late game, really. You know, the Urgot's insanely powerful. He's pretty weak early.
Oh, there's a gank coming down the bot lane. Olaf's behind.
Yep. Didn't pick
Also
up
a
his
gank top
axe.
lane.
Flash here. There's also a gank going on top lane. That's a great disengage from the Maokai. And a great kill on the red team here. First kill going over to Olaf.
Yep, and
That's
Brand.
really important, really big.
Yep.
And looks like red team also has a great position on the wave here too. They can freeze and deny Jin a lot of CS while he waits for support to get back.
Yep, it's important to note Jin blew both summoners, and Brand actually has both summoners up, so he's still going to be a threat in this lane. Top lane, no summoners were burned during that little engage by the Kayn.
It's really good for Chazor there. Another thing we didn't point out is Abraham did use both the summoners there and still ended up dying in the process. I'm sorry, he didn't die as support did.
Yep.
Another great gank into the mid lane here.
Ooh.
A bit low, have to back off, so is Seraphine.
Seraphine's gonna have to back, being out of mana.
Yep.
I think that kill going on the Olaf too is going to have a lot of impact. You want to just get him rolling, you know, get him those
There's
early
some
kills.
champs, there's some jungle champs you'd rather have the kills on the laners. Olaf's not one of those. Definitely get those kills onto that man, and he can take over the game.
Yep.
He can kill whoever he wants, and no CC's gonna stop him.
Yeah. He does fall off, so you don't want to give him all of the kills, but I think you want to give him 5 to 6, get him rolling. I mean, if he can ever get that big early, then he's just running from lane to lane with that axe.
Yep. And right now, blue team has no way to stop him. If the Olaf continues to get strong, get stronger, and further ahead, this man is going to run through anything that blue team tries to do to stop him. So I'm very interested to see how this game plays out in that regard.
That's true. The Olaf is really strong into Kubes, Team Kubes.
Yep.
We'll see which team prioritizes the dragons. I assume it's the Olaf, obviously because of that early game dominance.
Yep. Good damage there from the Brand.
Big trade and a flash by Papa.
Flash I think was a bit unnecessary, but Brand could have followed up. I'm surprised he didn't ignite there actually. I look forward here. It was a good dodge. Doesn't matter.
There's the ignite.
Might still die.
Got it.
Yep.
A nice trade back to tie it up. Yep.
Even Chase is starting to fall behind CS up here too. I like to see Urgot get a base off here. It should be pretty free for him. He got it off pretty quickly. He could get back in time before losing any minions, but I'd say he's lost that window now. Like a scuttle maybe.
Yeah, and they get the dragon off of that fight in the bot lane. So they have an Ocean Drake already in the bank account. Gold's pretty even. I mean, we found pointed it out. You only see a slight CS lead in the top lane. Will lost power farming a bit? Do you think he's just trying to get to one item and then he's going to be really aggressive? Or do you think Zarn...
I can see him looking for like level 6 in Warrior perhaps, and looking to force a good fight off that. Dragon won't be up for it a little bit, but he can look for maybe a fight around Earth Herald when it comes up. Maybe force a gank top lane. I'd like to see that, try to alleviate some of that pressure, because Urgot's getting very strong right now. It'd be nice to try to even out that lane.
Notice the sweeper on the Olaf, so he's going to be focused on that vision control.
Yep. It's going to be really hard to kill the Seraphine. Both are flash and barrier up, so I don't want to see Zarn try to put too much pressure here unless he thinks he can get some sums. Perhaps maybe a return gank on the bot lane to try to punish that Jin without a flash. Or like I said earlier, try to put some pressure here on the top lane. See what he does.
Interesting, Scrubby top lane hasn't been back to purchase to buy yet. And still holding his own level 7 against Chazor in top lane.
I really would like to see Chazor go all in there. He had an item advantage. He also dodged all the skills from Scrubby Bub. I think he could have had a really favorable trade.
Oh, here it is. You see a fight?
He's gonna go in Kubes' favor, I believe.
He needs to commit here. I think he needs to get in there and
Especially
auto.
with the ult. I think he's got.
Okay, he's got the Olaf there with him too. We're gonna get flash out most likely. Oh, is he gonna die?
Get it. Yep. Donated to the Olaf.
Scrubby.
Perfect timing too. The Rift Herald just came up. Zorn's probably gonna take that.
Yep.
It's,
He was.
Right place, right time for the Olaf there. Good job from Zorn. Good setup from Maokai there.
And really, as you said, with the item difference in that fight, not desirable to fight for Scrubby, and definitely reduces the CS lead.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, I really wish he would have taken that base that he had for free. It would have been nice. He would have had items that fight could have gone a completely different direction. His 20 CS lead essentially meant nothing because he didn't buy. So
Big fight in the Rift pit.
Fight right here.
He's got the Rift though. He picked it up.
Great Centaur. Oh, that's a messed up axe.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Wow.
Doesn't matter.
And Kubes unfortunately out of mana.
Oh, Kubes out of
Looking
mana.
to try
Mr.
to make
R.
or something.
Oh, then the flash out.
Yeah, I wanted to
Very
point
spicy.
out
Very spicy.
that fight lane in the top. Scrubby had sitting on the 2,000. So I mean, 2,000 gold. So it was a lot of gold, and it made it easy for the Maokai to run him down there with all that catch potential with his R and his W.
The Papa Koble ult to try to pressure the turret here.
Honestly, this comp is playing out exactly as they want on red team. Getting these early kills in the Olaf means he can take over the game, take over objectives like he's done so far. Looks like they're using that Rift Herald in the mid lane while he picks up top scuttle. Maybe looking for another return gank here in the top lane. Urgot's in a very bad spot. Should not be where he's at. But so he's not gonna get punished.
Yeah, I almost wanted to see the Olaf collapse there.
Yeah.
I think he's playing well. He's got a goalie, but I think he could press the advantage a little harder.
Yeah, especially the Maokai definitely could have closed them off. They could have forced flash there at the very least. Maybe they're being a little.
Well, the Kane was coming in through top jungle, so maybe,
we saw that.
Unknown
Yeah.
factor.
But even if they did see it, I mean, they win the 2v2. You know, with the Olaf right now. The Olaf's getting pretty big, especially with that pickup on Kane.
I want to say Zarn's holding on to a lot of gold too. Can you check that for me?
Yeah, that's probably true actually. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's 2,500. So.
Oh, and he was spinning too.
And Papa Koble goes down with the two-man gank.
Silas TP'd in.
And jungle.
But he's gonna get out with the proto belt, so.
Yeah, pretty safe here. Still has the flash as well.
Is he thinking about this with the Brandar?
Good damage coming out from the Seraphine.
He is 1v4 and he's going for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this play, although he's dealing some pretty good damage.
He's just got to dodge it. He caught one.
Wow, what a dodge.
Gets
punished. What a shot. What a shot.
Abraham Rage with the kill.
Yep. Bit overzealous from the Silas there.
This still isn't over.
Maybe overestimating his damage. Not realizing the Jin Arc could continue following him down. It's a flash coming out from the Kane. It's like Senna should die here as well.
Olaf's in the area. Will he decide to go in against 4 as well? I mean, he does have the damage, honestly. He can't be stopped here.
Is that Olaf R?
He's going to run him
That's a lot
down.
of damage. Yep.
He's kind of missing the axes here. I think if he hits those,
Taking a lot of damage.
down.
Might die here. That's a big bounty going over to the brand. That is not who you want that bounty going over to.
It is
from the red team's perspective, blue team's very happy with that gold.
And
Brand does a lot of damage with very, very little gold. You get him to those Sork shoes and Leandry's quicker. He has the potential to take over the game on his own. So a lot of damage threats coming out from blue team here. I'd say the game just got a lot harder for red team. See what happens here in the top lane.
And blue team takes their second dragon without any contest.
Yep. We got a fight going on here in the top lane. I don't know if that hits. It does. It does. I don't know if it turns to a kill. It's good damage though. I like the bait into the bush. These types of fights that Urgot wins, especially with that W always turned on.
The
Yep,
Jays
he's
are out of
past
mana.
that level 9 now, so. Dodges the R
misses
though.
The R, misses the R.
He's going to
Jays
get
are
walked
matter.
down though.
Does it
Unless-
matter? Does it matter? How long till E? There it is.
Oh my. Oh, the shield from the Senna.
Wow.
Wow, that is a great
That was such a long fight. Wow, good job on Chaser keeping his level head, and he dodged a Q in there. He outpaced the E. I think he kept his head in that long fight with no mana. That must have been a little scary.
Great heads-up play from Angelic there.
Yep.
Great map awareness.
And this is a free kill for the Silas here.
Yep. Just has to hit that R.
Doesn't even need to. She's using it
You know,
anyway.
Talking about the comps though, even though the Silas went in against 4 and got punished for it, you could see what the late game will look like with that Brandar stealing it. But a big trade here on Angelic, and he actually goes down. That's the Brandar caught by the, was that the Jin, the snare?
Jin W, yep. Yeah, I believe it's called Deadly Flourish, but oh, thanks, bud. I did play a good amount of Jin back in the day. Don't play him too much anymore.
Nasty wombo combo.
Brand is very scary right now. Even without the Landry's finish, just having those 2 items alone, the Haunting Guys on top of the Sork Shoes, he's hitting very, very hard. I'm sure Angelic was not expecting that. Reason why he got caught out. He really did go from 100 to 0 there between the two, the combo from the Jin and the Brand. That's just going to get more and more difficult for that bot lane.
Yeah, it's a tough bot lane with the Senna support. I think the Brand's a great answer into it.
Yep.
Plus, looking at the top lane, I mean, obviously he's got to itemize armor right now during the lane phase, but we'll have to keep an eye on if Chaser can get some MR in that build to kind of answer the Brand. Same with the Olaf. That's just going to be devastating when they're grouping up in a team fight, the Maokai and the Olaf diving in.
I want to say now it's blue team's top goal to try to get as much gold onto the Caitlyn as possible. I feel like Olaf's starting to get to that point where he's starting to lose a little bit of relevancy already.
Yes.
He still does have a decent lead over the enemy jungle, but it's going to be much harder for him to just run down people in these fights, especially with how much damage blue team's putting out now. So I'm really looking to see Caitlyn pick up some of these kills in these fights, try to get her ahead.
And of course, Brand with an early death in the game, now sitting at 3-1.
Yeah.
It's quite a big power spike to the bot lane for him as a support.
Well, we saw a great resilience from him and the Kane. I believe they were both, I think, 0-1, and they've kind of found their pacing. The Kane's getting more involved with that bot lane dive they had. So they're finding their way back into this game. And like you were saying, the Olaf's already starting to fall off. They have the 2 dragons. I mean, really, Blue's in a better position despite the 3-0 or Olaf early in the game.
Yep. Plates have gone down. I wasn't keeping track to see how which team got more plates. But looking at the gold, I have to guess probably blue team here. They do have a decent amount of CS lead in the top lane, but I don't think that's enough to justify the gold lead they have now. So I want to say blue team probably had the lead in the plates.
Yeah, Brand's up to about 1,200 gold as far as the supports. Everything else is fairly even. Oh, big fight here.
Big fight here around the Rift Herald. Blue team does pick up the Rift Herald. Urgot goes down for it. Kane might still die. We'll see who gets the kill for it.
They're waiting for him to take the blast cone here. Gets the knock up. But I think he's just going to get ran down here.
Yep. That's a big shutdown. 2 more kills on the Olaf. It's not terrible. It probably would have been better on the Silas, I believe.
At this point.
Yeah. He also has the potential to really take over these skirmishes as well. I think Silas excels in these smaller 2 to 3 man fights. And we're going to be in that stage for a little bit here. I don't foresee the teams getting into 5v5 mode for a while, so I think those 2 kills on Silas have been really nice. That being said, Olaf also shines in small skirmishes as well, so not the worst.
Yeah, I think it's just important on the Silas because you kind of are answering the Brandar with your own Brandar from the Silas.
Yeah.
And it can really impact those team fights.
Yeah.
And the matchup mid lane fairly even in CS, and it kills nothing out of the ordinary.
Big fight here.
Flash from the Silas.
Flash out from the Silas. Yeah.
I am interested to see if we see any heal cut come in from Team Kubes because they have an Olaf, Maokai, and Silas, and a Senna. So I'd love to see some heal cut. Big team fight here.
This could be a good fight for red team. They pick off people slow 1 by 1.
Looks like they decide to call it off.
Oh, they're just being started up by Zarn here.
Kane's by the pit though. I don't know if he'll look for the steal here. They're in position.
Does have the greater smite. And Kane takes it.
He takes
third dragon over for blue team. Looks like blue team might clean up this fight here too.
Big fight here. Olaf goes in, but there's just an Urgot standing in the front, shooting people down with that W.
Kane. Senna might die here as well. Yeah.
Maybe she can get a trade on Qs with another Q. Nope.
Senna goes down.
That was close. that was close. That was a big blunder by Team Papa Koble, and I think it's unfortunate that Zarn will probably be receiving a message about that Dragon Steel from Rafart shortly after the game. So I know he's feeling
he may
that
already
one.
be sending it, to be honest. It may have already been sent. Would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Honestly, blue team's getting a lot off this. It started off just as just a Dragon Steel, but then the red team had to give up a couple more kills, and now it looks like blue team's even taking 2 mid turrets here. Off
Silas
of really
TP here.
It's a good TP. We get a kill. Actually, that's a decent set down for the Silas. Helps him get move on a little bit further in his build. But man, blue team's up 3 turrets now, and they're 1 dragon away from getting soul, which would be really good for their team.
Yeah, I mean the gold lead though, it's not that big. I mean we're looking at only about over 1,000, so it's really just the dragons. I think that's hurting them. To be on soul point this early, and your Olaf's already starting to fall off. You didn't get any drakes when he was, you know, at his maximum power level in the game.
Yeah.
So I mean it's gonna be tough, but I mean you have the Caitlyn to kind of scale in. The Cinna's gonna be pretty big. The Maokai's gonna get pretty beefy, and I mean the Silas, it's really in his hands to kind of create some opportunity, create some damage in these team fights. I noticed the shutdown on the Olaf went to Scrubby Bub here.
Well, Scrubby Bub gets out for now. Oh,
Chazor looking to root.
Yep.
Knock back, and Scrubby Bub goes down.
It's a good kill. It's a good kill.
Chazor looking to become relevant here in the mid game.
It's looking pretty good so far. 0-0-4 and doing his job as a tank.
Yeah,
we'll keeping that got locked up. This might be a good pick onto the Seraphine here if they can get onto her.
Here goes the R.
R comes out. Is it enough? Nice, great damage. Fortunately, that kill does go onto the Senna. Just like I was saying earlier.
The Cinna tried to absorb all of them for the Caitlyn, so they didn't have to try to dodge it. But in return, it let them just walk up on her and get the kill. And the sums.
I understand wanting to block the ADC there, but continue to move out of the ult at the same time. No reason to stand still, in my opinion.
Maybe a little too overconfident, we could say.
Oh, definitely. It's just tough that the matchup is really what's tough.
We see a collapse here. Blue team might be able to turn something out of this.
I believe the Olaf's R is just coming up though. I mean, they might be able to get a kill or two. If they turn to fight.
Playing really patiently.
The Olaf is out of there.
Olaf gets out.
Chaser is the sacrifice. Olaf R'd and ran.
Yep. Probably best play. They definitely both die if they stay.
Yeah, they made a good call there.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if they get anything off of that pressure. Maybe just some Baron control.
I like the grouping top here. They already have pushing wave bot lane, and mid's not being threatened too badly here, and Seraphine can rotate pretty quickly. So this is pretty much a free turret. It's unanswered by the red team. They weren't positioned to really trade anything there. Yep. Taking a turret without a fight, you can't go wrong with that.
So it's only a 700 gold difference between the teams, despite being up being up 2 turrets. But the CS is pretty even. I wonder if that's just the trade of shutdowns. The shutdown gold trading over.
Gold's even now. So blue team's up 1 turret. And with the gold so even, we have to start talking about who scales better in the late game. Gold's not really relevant here. So which team does better with the gold, and where's the gold currently at? I would say a lot of the gold right now is for the red teams on that Olaf. He's still in a position where he can take over these fights, plays it well.
There's the flash from the Caitlyn.
Yep, before I talk more, let's check out the fight here. Flash out from the Caitlyn, looks like Scrubby Bub does go down.
And flank from the...
we got a big flank from the Maokai here.
Yeah, a great flank. He got in there, they corralled him.
Yep, Brand is coming. Brand can definitely change this fight, especially if the Silas goes a little too deep here.
He's got the blast cone here. He's fine. Olaf based.
And the stall point coming up for the red team.
Really important that red team gets this dragon. I don't know if blue team can have it without a fight. I think blue team should fight for this. Even if it's just a Kane going in to try to steal, I think he should definitely go for it.
I think he should try as well. And of course, we had some audience participation from Smurfy calling the drag soul coming up. So great awareness. Thank you for that. And they controlled the pit. They zoned and they get the drag.
Papa Koble says that trick won't work twice, Ratfart.
Exactly, and
It takes the kill.
they stopped the soul point, which is very important here because they do need a skill. I mean, like you were bringing up before that team fight Aoi, I think the one person that's scaling on Team Kubes is that Brand, and he does have a lot of the gold.
Yep. I think it was really bad that they chose to take that fight around Dragon initially without having the Brand there. I do think he's going to be the main damage carrier in these fights for the time
getting
being.
caught out in the Baron pit.
Ooh, that's a big pick for blue team there.
Clearing some vision and got caught.
Can they Baron on this? Can they Baron?
They could. They have good vision.
They're starting it, so they think they can Baron it. They do have some good vision. Are they aware that Olaf is basing right now? He stopped his base, so that he knows we might get a fight here.
It looks like they're committed to it, so we'll see a fight here for the Baron. Baron's gonna chunk the blue team pretty hard here, I believe.
That's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage, yeah. Yeah, oh wow, it's still spreading. Wow.
It's still going.
Blue
That
team
was-
immediately turns on the fight.
That was such a great call from Team Kubes. They pulled off immediately. It seemed like there was no hesitation across the board. They pressed their R's and they punished the Silas. Olaf flashes to get in
That
there.
was very, very close. Olaf almost stole that.
Zarn Flash dives in to try to save.
Oh, Angelic King might go
Tries to
down
the
here.
Baron.
I was talking to Zarn before this game, and he was mentioning how much pressure there is in a Clash game and how he can really feel it. And he hadn't quite felt it in the league yet, that pressure to win. And I'm wondering if he's feeling it now, where he might be losing to team with Raffard on it.
Yep. And the gold went on him in this game, and it was up to him to really take over. And I'm afraid that he's lost the opportunity now. Blue team's got a pretty big lead at the middle and hip down. They still have a good chunk of their Baron left, and they're looking to take over this mid to late game here.
And they recognize how they're going to close this game out. They want to get that soul. They're already pinging it 3 minutes out. That's going to be, I think, what they focus on to close this game out, even though they have the Baron. They want to put the nail in the coffin by getting that soul. And I think it's a pretty good soul. Cloud isn't the best, but I like it on the Urgot as well. We got a little trade here by the King, probably just going to walk out.
Yeah, he's fine. He's not good.
But the Urgot can R and immediately rush in with the Dragon Soul, the Wind Drake. So it's
The red team in desperation mode, definitely looking to try to force picks, as we can see them in the enemy jungle trying to chase down the Kane.
well, I think Team Papa Koppel's comp with the Maokai and the Olaf, they want to be going in. And when you start having to play on your back foot, when you're down several thousand gold, it becomes tough.
Stopwatch out for the Silas there, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah,
I did.
I would have
Maybe
say
lose my
probably
train
meant
of
to hit
thought.
Proto Belt to try to clear out those chicken camps a little quicker. Maybe
Misclicked.
misclicked. Yeah, it's
I
a
was,
bit
going, I, was going
unfortunate.
for, I was going for maybe a weird flex there. I could see it,
Flexing on the
weird,
team, let them know.
weird
Yeah.
flex,
Weird
bro.
flex.
Weird
Thought maybe the
flex,
enemy
bro.
team had vision on chickens.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think Team Papa Koppel wants to go in. And I guess my point is with
I don't
Team
like seeing the
Cubes-
Urgot take the blue buff here.
Yeah, I think he's just clearing. Maybe they made a call that the Kane's not going to come back up there for a while, so go ahead and clear out that side of the jungle. I mean, because they're all down, or up, sorry, on bot lane.
Yeah.
And using the Baron to pressure turrets in preparation for the Dragon Soul point.
Yep, they have great vision. They've created a bunch of great space for them. Well, they're choosing to push in with their Baron now. I kind of like this. You get the most usage out of it while you can, and then go to the Dragon later.
Concern here too being the red team is in a better position to rotate and collapse on.
Yep, Silas did pick up the Brandar, so we'll have to watch that in this next fight. That might be the kind of the game
that is
changer.
Maokai using TP to go top lane. It's now 4v4 down here again. Actually, with the Moloch in the mid lane, it's actually positive numbers for blue team. Their Baron did fall off, so I'd like to see him fall back to the Dragon Pit here. But they're going to keep pushing in for this tower.
The momentum definitely on blue side. all
Realizing that
throughout
they have,
this phase.
There was a flash as well from the Sinnoh.
Damn. Blue team continues to claw away at this lead.
And we have a significant gold lead, I feel like, for the first time in this game.
Yeah, this gold lead's gotten pretty big now. Now that we're later in the game, it's not as important. I would argue the more important thing though here is Cloud Soul. Fortunately for the red team, I'd say Cloud Soul is probably the weakest out of the four.
That's true. Yeah.
That being said, let's talk about how it works for their comp and if it makes their champs any of their champs kind
We
of
see
broken.
a catch here as well.
That's a bit overreaching. I don't like Senna pushing out that far, especially with flash down.
And with Team Kubes' comp, I mean, they just have so much reach with that Seraphine, the Brand, the Jhin to follow up any type of mark from the Seraphine.
If any piece of damage touches you, then the Jin's gonna try to hit that W.
The ult from Chazor.
Big fight here. I like this. They're getting in there.
I don't like this.
left on his own. Yep.
Too overzealous.
Yep. They're
Blue
just
team might win off this.
Blue team with everything they need to dive. They could look to end.
Yeah, I believe this might be game.
Yeah, Team Kubes coming out, getting a victory. They are now 1-1. Team Papa Koble moving to 2-2. Yeah, they know they can win as a squad now, and we'll have to see how they progress in the league. I just want to thank everyone for watching another Legends league, and I want to thank Hunterman and Life of Aori for joining me. And thank you, and have a good night.
Good game, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me. Have a good night, guys.